Here are 5 simple tips that could just give you a little tweak to improve your communication with your husband. First, exercise some patience and wait to launch serious conversations until your husband is eaten and is rested. I mean, this just is common sense, right? Don't try to talk about something extremely important when he's hungry, when he just walked in the door at the end of a stressful day. Patience, 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 right? Proverbs 16:32. Better a patient man than a warrior, a man who controls his temper than one who takes a city. Patience, patience, patience. Timing is everything. Kind of along the same line, simple tip number 2, eliminate all distractions before important communication. So this means if he's watching the big game on TV, probably now is not the time to be talking about something really important, your feelings about his mother-in-law dropping over all the time unexpectedly or whatever. It's just not the right time to do that. If he's playing video games and he's really intense into that, probably not the right time. Maybe you're going to have to ask him, when is a good time? I want to talk to you about something, as opposed to trying to talk to him while he's watching the game or something. Number 3, simple tip. Keep your communication balanced. Don't make most of your communication with your husband a negative experience. In other words, for each time your communication could be taken as a complaint or criticism, work to balance those discussions with compliments or positive statements. If you strive for balance, if you don't strive for balance, your husband's going to want to run for cover when you come in the room, because it's like, oh boy. I still, to my dying day, will remember this comment that one husband told me. He said, when I walk through the door at the end of the day, it's like walking into a buzzsaw when I see my wife. Because she is wired, she is churning, she has got all this irritation going on for the day, and she just like slices and dices him with her tongue. Let's not be a buzzsaw. Maybe that could be our motto here. Let's not be a buzzsaw. Do not be a buzzsaw. Because, our words can either bring life to our marriage and to our husbands, or kind of like slice and dice them, right? Proverbs 18:21, the power of life and death is in the tongue. So what's it like for your husband to meet you at the end of his day? Is it great, or is it like, run for cover? Tip number 4. Then this is kind of one you're going to have to take some time with God to help process, but ask God to show you areas where you've been filtering communication through the emotional pain of your past. Specifically, ask God to reveal ways you may have been misjudging your husband's verbal or even nonverbal communication due to previous painful experiences in your childhood or even painful experiences with your husband in the past. And because often this is where the assumptions come into play. Well, I think what you really mean is this. Because we have a filter that we're using from our past emotional experiences, emotional pain. So if you think he means something more than what he just said, ask him to clarify. Say, I'm trying to process what you just said. I want to ask a question. Did you mean that? Clarify. Don't just assume. And then number 5, if you guys tend to have a lot of miscommunication, actually come up with a code word that you can both use. A code word could be a silly thing, I don't care, whatever it is, but like a code word that you can both use when you want to make sure the other person understands, you're about to say something really important here, and you want him to pay attention. It could be like, okay, DEFCON 1, communication coming up. DEFCON 1 sentence just ahead. Whatever you want to do, you can be playful, but sometimes we just need to I need to be paid, because otherwise sometimes we're so busy we tune out what he's saying, or he's tuning out us because he's busy or focused on something else. But what if you were to say, alert, important sentence coming up, whatever. Okay, now he's paying attention, or you're paying attention. Sometimes code words can be helpful. And again, sense of humor can be huge when you start to see the communication derailing. My favorite word, because it's just such a silly word, I use it for all sorts of times when I just want him to just chuckle, and it just kind of, again, bring some humor into the situation, is I'll just go, snickerdoodle! Because it's just the dumbest word. They're good cookies, though. But anyway, it's kind of a silly word, and we just both kind of laugh, and then it's like, okay, regroup. Good, well, let's have a sense of humor. So sense of humor, also one of your biggest weapons.